The spring update is here and there are quite a few things to look forward to. This is a pretty big update, starting with the campaign ship. If you didn't already see the amazing video that the official Legends channel dropped, it is going to be the Carnot. Carnot is quite the unique ship, I'd say, and I guess I would call her a French supercruiser. She's coming to tier 8. She's going to have 10 305mm guns like the Alaska, but a much longer reload of 25 seconds. The AP shells look like they will be devastating, with good AP alpha and shell velocity. This ship will be very fast, over 34 knots. Plus, she's going to come with a French speed boost. She'll have hydroacoustic search and heals. Armor-wise, it looks like she's going to be a pretty tanky ship, 25mm bow, but a very good belt and turtleback armor protection. Overall, a very interesting looking ship. On the theme of new ships coming to the game, the Pan-Asian cruiser line will come out of early access and the tier 8 Sejong will be coming to the game. Sejong looks like an Atlanta, armed with 16 torpedoes. They are deep water torpedoes, of course, like the others in the Pan-Asian cruiser line. She's going to have access to smoke screens, small heals, and torpedo reload boosters. Unlike Atlanta and the rest of the line though, Sejong actually has some workable armor, it looks like, with a sizable portion of 32mm armor on the upper belt, so this could be a very interesting ship. It is St. Patrick's Day yet again. Usually that means Belfast makes a return for those looking for her, but this year a very exciting newcomer ship will be joining the fray, the Tier 7 Celtic. A new guise and pot of gold crate. The Celtic is basically a Baltimore with some altered stats, and I can't give specifics right now, but Celtic's going to have a little bit better accuracy than Baltimore, a faster reload, better heals, and a longer range radar. So pretty saucy, but there are plenty of downsides too to balance this out, including loads, less health, less shell damage, less fire chance, and so on. So there will be pros and cons to this cruiser, but I would keep an eye out for it. The Tier 8 pack is going to be rounded out a little bit more, starting with the American battleship Minnesota. She's going to be coming in above the Kansas. Minnesota looks to have 12 406s, so a very big, powerful broadside and high accuracy, of course at the cost of being very slow. The American cruiser Seattle is the next iteration of Cleveland at Tier 8. It'll have 12 152mm guns and a base reload of 6.5 seconds, so Tier 8 just got a very potent HE spammer. IGN destroyer Kitikaze will be coming in above the Akazuki, so fans of Japanese gunboats rejoice. She's going to feature 8 100mm guns and a 3-second base reload. From what I know of this boat on PC, it's a very powerful and scary ship, so beware. The Royal Navy cruiser Drake will be the next in line for the Royal Navy Heavies. 9 times 234mm guns, they have great HE pan and fire chance, and the ship has good concealment, so that could be an interesting Tier 8 heavy cruiser. And the Pan-Asian destroyer line is going to get Chungmu. Will come in above the Shenyang, and it looks to me like a Fletcher with deep water torpedoes, so be ready for a good gunboat with stealthy, hard-hitting torps. Schlieffen will finally be making its way to legendary tier. This will cap out the German battlecruiser line, and it's going to have 8-kilometer base secondary range. That will be the longest in the game. Not to mention lots of torpedoes, 8 on each side, I believe, like the Ruprecht. And while these German battlecruisers are not the tankiest of ships and they have limited damage con consumables, if you've seen recent games of me playing Ruprecht on stream, or this game in the background, these German battlecruisers are the most fun battleships in the game right now, in my opinion. So Schlieffen will also have sonar, and it should be a very powerful and fun ship. It will be available to start researching in the Bureau Monday. The last ship I want to cover is the Atlantico. It will be a premium Tier 7 Pan-American battleship, so the first of this line. She's going to have powerful, long-range secondaries and a main battery that features AP only. The ship looks to be a dreadnought, so I would expect a pretty slow speed overall, but definitely a unique addition to the tier, and there's going to be a new commander, Pedro Lima Santos, to command her. The special racing game mode is coming back, with new boats, consumables, and even torpedoes this time, it sounds like. This could be worth checking out, as the currency you earn in the racing mode can be used to purchase things, including a unique destroyer called Bulletproof, and I don't really know much about it, but I would assume it's the French destroyer pictured here. There will be new skins, guises, and crates to purchase with this currency as well. Now, there are a ton of balance changes coming. A lot. So I would urge you to go read over them because it definitely could impact how you're playing the game. and I will leave a link in the description below. The number one thing that I wanted to highlight though in this video is that German battleship secondaries are getting buffed. The 150mm guns are now going to penetrate 38mm of armor, and the 128mm guns will pin 32mm of armor. So it's being brought up to these very popular thresholds, and I think it's going to make German secondaries much more effective. So those builds could be worth revisiting. Now, a quick look at the balance report here. The main is getting a giga buff. Don't pay attention to this picture. This will be fixed by the time the patch notes launch to you guys. So main, they feel like it hasn't been performing well. So what they're going to do is put the HP in sections where it's harder to damage, basically. So the bow, the casemate, the stern, the HP is going to be moved out of those areas so they saturate faster, and basically the main will be more tanky. The Ibuki and the Ibuki B, they haven't been performing that great as well, so they're going to get a buff to their shell damage and to their reload. The Colbert is getting buffed. Oh boy. Why? Geez. So the main battery reload is going to be faster and the heal is going to be a little bit better. Apparently this ship has been having poor battle impact and a poor win rate, no doubt because of its limited consumable suite. It just spams a lot of damage. I think it's a terribly dangerous ship and it has a really overpowered 32mm bow. You know, if the player's good, it's a dangerous ship, so apparently bad players are playing the Colbert. Anyways, moving on. Here are the secondary things that we talked about with the improved penetration. And on to the nerfs. Prince Ruprecht, I had been saying this for a while, the ship was going to be on the chopping block, so hopefully it's not too bad what she's getting. 2 seconds to the main battery reload, that sucks, but I think we can weather the storm. And then the secondary battery reload times are nerfed a little bit. Now again, these guns, the 150s, are now going to pin 38mm of armor, so Prince Ruprecht is also getting a bit of a buff. So yeah, she's still going to be a great ship. Heinrich, longer reload. Delny, nerfing torpedoes, basically. August von Parsifal, I don't play carriers. I find it hard to care, but this is still the best performing carrier in terms of win rate, damage, battle impact, so she's getting nerfed again. The commander skills. Some of these commanders that people maybe don't play as much are getting their base traits buffed. More HE shell damage from Fournay, better speed from Graprat. So this was going to be worth looking again on things like as an inspiration for the Hood, the Georgia, some of these fast battleships that people use. Very interesting. Mortar, not a lot of people use this. Everyone uses Look At Me Now as a destroyer skill. So it's going to be buffed and make gunboating a little more dangerous. Cloudy Days, this is something that often we also look over, so it's getting buffed a little bit as well. The same with Reaching Out. Philippe Abignon, if that's how you pronounce that. The HE shell damage buff for DDs is being reduced a little bit. Perceptive is getting nerfed. Everybody picked Perceptive over Twist and Track. Of course, why wouldn't you? Because you take less damage and you still get the RPF indicator, so a little bit of a nerf there. Go All Out. This one was needed. Go All Out gave you a 20% buff to your detection rating when you used it, when you were using your engine boost consumable, and it's being cut in half. It's still going to be powerful, but not quite as powerful. And that concludes the buffs and the nerfs and the blah, blah, blah. So definitely come read through this and take a deeper look at it. I think it's worth checking into. Of course, I appreciate you guys being here. Leave me a comment down below what you guys think about this update. It's a pretty big one. There's a lot of content coming. Let me know what you think. Please leave a like on the video as that would greatly help me out, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.